welcome to the Jews in the Media podcast, the only podcast that has enough balls to talk about the important hitting stuff in the world.
Jews in the media?
What did I say?
No, I'm just continuing.
Oh, all right.
Important stuff like Jews.
You made me think I said something else. I'm like, oh, did I screw up the name of our own show again? What's going on, James?
Not too much. Not too much, Steve. How you going?
Yeah, it's all good.
I noticed, living in the country, I've started greeting people differently. How you going? We don't say that in the States.
No, that would be a mistake.
No, but they say that elsewhere. They say it in Australia. They say it in the UK. Yeah, I mean, of the thousands of different ways of greeting somebody, that's one of the ways that, at least for sure, in the UK. They say. I know a lot of people that say,
See, I've said that myself, but it's been more like a meant to say how you doing, but then it changed to how you go. How's it going?
And then you combine it to
how you going?
I mean, listen,
I going fine, thank you.
but like, what's up? Like, if you really follow through on the question, how's it going? Well, what's the answer to that? But what's the answer to what's up? Well, the fucking ceiling. I don't know. Like, stupid questions. So it doesn't really matter. It's just, what's more common in whichever country.
Well, it's no different here. We have Manyani, Manishma, and what's the answer? Beseda, but it doesn't actually answer the question.
Yeah, some of those I don't even know what they mean in English. Like, Manyanim, I think, is what's interesting. Inyanim, like what are the intricacies or something like that?
Hey, what's up? All good?
Who knows?
Nobody's asking you what's actually physically up.
What is up though? I saw my friend from back home from Kansas City. He's trying once again. He made Aliyah. He moved to Israel back in 2000, 2001 or 2, something like that. And he's, it might have even been 99, but he's going up again to try to be the first Israeli dog sledder.
First Israeli dog sledder?
Yeah, first Israeli dog sledder. Though, I guess it kind of puts him in a similar category as the Cool Runnings team from Cool Runnings.
When you think Israel,
Jamaican.
you certainly don't. Yeah, I mean, when you think Jamaica, you don't think bobsled, and when you think Israel, you certainly don't think
and when
dog
you think
sled.
of Trush, think of Akim.
Exactly.
But no, listen, I think it's really cool because the guy's, he was an Eagle Scout. We were in Boy Scouts together, and he was always extreme, in whatever sport or whatever activity. I remember that, some of the hikes that we'd go on in Boy Scouts, and it seems to really fit him. I'm excited. I'm psyched to see this because, I mean,
I would like to see, an Israeli flag flying over a dog sled in this race. That'd be really cool.
They don't have representation from every country. The only thing that you need to actually be a part of it is to be voted in.
Well,
as far as I understand.
How does the voting work?
So you vote.
Can I vote?
You can vote.
So what, we just
In fact,
like the
anybody that
race
clicks on the link that I'm going to
something?
put below the video can vote. And can get Eric Klasser a chance to be the first Israeli.
So whoever
I'm going to
gets
post
the
a
most
video
votes
of
gets
his.
in?
I
whoever
guess so.
gets the most, and then they select from those people or something.
I think when you have enough votes, there's the countries that were a part of it, and I think those countries can still be a part of it. But to get a new country in, I think it needs to beat the other countries that are running up. Something to that effect. I'm not exactly sure. But I think he was really close last year. And another friend of ours tried to help boost him. He was on the news, and the country was excited about this happening, but he just didn't get quite enough votes.
I think everyone
Eric, I got your back, man.
I think everyone that listens to this podcast should go to this link. What is it?
I'm gonna.
Oh wow! Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna send it because I have a link that actually goes directly to his vote page where you can vote for him. I think it's across Scandinavia. Like on the homepage, you see Norway's, Denmark, Sweden's flags, Finland's flags, the UK, US,
Yeah, so that's not where you're
a
going
couple
across
other countries.
clearly. Cause
No, but it's well,
Korea?
Fjällräven.
South Korea?
This is South Korea apparently is
that's one hell of a
is
trip. If you're taking
participating.
that with a dog sled.
I don't think they're sledding across Mongolia to get Mongolia and then Russia. I guess it would just be Mongolia, Russia, Estonia. Well, I guess it would.
You could do that.
Yeah,
could be done.
I don't
know if it could be done. But.
No, it could definitely be done. You're gonna have to go through a few different dogs, though. I think. I don't think the dogs you brought from North Korea are sticking with you the whole way.
Well, you're probably not going to make that trip straight through. You probably have to do it, take a day off.
Over a few years.
Well,
I have no idea how long the Iditarod takes.
I have watched bits and pieces of the Iditarod, but I, again, have no idea. Most of the things I know about dog sledding is actually from watching shows about, like, homesteading in Alaska.
I want to say... I'm trying to remember from second grade when we talked about it. I want to say it was a 48-hour, like it was just 2 days. That may not be true. I don't know. I don't know how long the Iditarod. It's long. I know it starts in Nome, Alaska, and it goes down to another place in Alaska. But I'm excited about this. Like when I first saw it last year. I'm going to share this video of his below the page as well because it's important to understand who this guy is. He is not one to sit back and relax and watch other people. I don't know. I think he can. I don't know if he's going to win. I'm rooting for you, bro. But it's enough to be a part of it. At least get your foot in the door.
Hey man, I don't know this guy, but I'm down, man. I think I think everyone listening to the podcast should go out and click the link that'll be posted up on the YouTube page and on our Facebook page, and should give this guy a link to try and get Israel into this race.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool as fuck to have an Israeli dog. I almost said bobsled. To have an Israeli. You don't want to take a dog sled down a bobsled course.
Shoot.
Those dogs would be shitting all over the place. No, I think it would be seriously cool to have that happen.
Yeah, I mean. What more can we do? Listen, we're Jews in the media. We got to get the Jews on the ice now, or snow.
Oh, by the way,
rather.
the Iditarod is just over 1,100 kilometers, and it's it takes about 127 hours. But
wow.
I assume that has to be over several days.
How many of those hours? Through how many of those hours is your arm trapped under a rock?
Probably none if you do it right.
Well, because of the movie, 127 hours, because his arm was trapped under the rock for 127 hours.
Is that the guy that chewed his arm off or used a knife?
I don't think he chewed his arm off. I think he used
arm off?
Yeah, I think he used like a little Swiss Army knife. Could you imagine doing that? I mean, when push comes to shove, or when rock comes to arm,
I can honestly say. I do not know if I would be able to do that.
I think instincts would take over. It's self-survivalism. Like, if you have the tools, I remember when I was a kid.
Hold on. I think it falls into one of those situations where you can't really know what you're going to do until the situation has presented itself to you.
I remember when I was a little kid, I said I would never eat mushrooms ever in my life. And the question was posed to me, what if there was nothing else to eat on Earth? You're stranded in a desert, whatever it is. There's nothing else anywhere you haven't eaten in 4 days. You have mushrooms. Well, yeah, I probably would. I don't know if that's in the same ballpark as chopping your arm off, eating mushrooms and chopping your arm off.
Eating something that you find a little icky and having to cut and not chop your arm off. Because that's, you got a cleaver or some chop. No, this is taking a small, 3-inch blade and having to...
I think it was 3.5 inches.
Not gnaw, but slice through in tiny little cuts.
Hack away at your arm.
And then through bone.
That'd be so fucked up. But...
And then after that, you have to deal with all the bleeding.
But listen, where he got stuck was a beautiful place. It was a beautiful area.
I guess after that, your hunger situation is taken care of because you can always barbecue your arm, I guess.
That's true.
Then again, it's gonna be hard to rub two sticks together with one hand.
Too soon.
Ah.
But no, it was right near an area of I think it was near just outside Bryce Canyon in Utah, near one of the formations called the Subway, which is a really beautiful place. And it got me
place
thinking.
to get subs.
Yeah, they have most of the subs are made out of people's arms. But no, it made me start thinking. We'll do these podcasts. We'll just talk about nonsense back and forth, but we don't really have, we haven't had really a specific target or a specific rhetoric routine or anything. So I was thinking like top 10, top something. Not to steal the top 10 idea because that's a little bit cheesy. But there are topics, there are things that we like, and you can really talk about whatever, and move on from a core subject. So top 10 of whatever, and then you just start discussing those individual
hold
10s.
on, I want to explain how I came up with the idea for this, or how we came across the idea for this list.
I like how that happened because I was thinking about it, and then I want to talk about how I came up with this idea.
well, no, because it was your idea to talk about. Maybe we could do a top 10 list, and
to some degree.
The actual topic was something I came up with. I often find myself on weekends, going different places around the country and visiting different spots, and I have from time to time said to myself that this would be really cool. Some of these historical archaeological sites in Israel can be rented out for like weddings and things. Okay, special events. So I thought, wouldn't it be cool to rent one of these spots out and like camp there overnight? Get a radio, everyone's hanging out, drinking, smoking,
radio?
Just whatever. CD player with some you know what I mean.
CD players?
Fuck off.
A tape deck?
Yes, bring your record player out and
grab the old 8-track.
The old Victrola, spin that little handle thing.
Sitting out there with a phonograph.
No, but I mean, like, it could be cool to like go out to some of these spots and camp out overnight and party out and hang out, see the sunset, spend the night under the stars. So that's how we came up with the idea. And what the topic is, top 10 places I'd want to chill out, camping, partying overnight.
It's a great title.
Yes. Spent a lot of time working on it.
I think there's some wiggle room on the title there, but top 10 places to hang out in Israel, like Israel, right?
10 places I would want to spend the night in Israel.
10 places you would want to spend the night.
Yeah,
with some friends,
with friends, partying and chilling and stuff.
Top 10 places for like an overnight outside, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Top 10 places
Tents
to
and
camp.
sleeping bags and the whole shebang. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I can definitely think of roughly a few thousand.
I don't know how to do it because I got I have what I think is my top idea. So should we start with that idea or work our way to that idea? Maybe we're going to run out of ideas before we get there.
You know what, Steve? You start wherever you want. If you want to start from the beginning, you start from the beginning. But if you don't want to start from the beginning, then you start from wherever you want to start.
I would like to spend a night at the oh shit, I forgot the name of the town. The big zoo with the safari in Ramat Gan. Okay?
It's called Ramat Gan.
Not it. Yeah, well, I remembered it before I got to the end of that sentence, obviously. Not like in the safari place where, like the lions are running around and stuff, but like inside the actual zoo area. I think that'd be kind of cool. Outside the monkey cage or something like that, You know what?
Pretty cool. I went for a
lions
ride.
Tigers and stuff really get up at night and in the morning.
Yeah.
So to be there during those hours can be fucking cool when they're really active.
So between when I was working, I think I talked about this last week. Between when I was working at my previous job and my new job, I sitting around the house gets kind of boring, so I took the bike out for a spin, and I did go out there one of the days. I went out to just ride around Ramat Gan, to ride around the safari area.
I don't think you're actually allowed to go through the safari.
No, you're not allowed to go through the safari, but it's like it's a small section of a very large park.
Yeah.
Kansas City, we have Swope Park, and in Swope Park, there's the Kansas City Zoo, and there's like Starlight Amphitheater. There's like a few other things in the area. This isn't quite so big, but it's like a big park, and a section of that park is the zoo. The rest of it is like, a pond, a lake, and there is a small amphitheater. I think they bring like tour groups, and it only seats like 50 people or something, but it's in an amphitheater, like a semicircle kind of
never saw the
arrangement.
If there is one.
It's tiny. It's nothing to write home about. But so yeah, I went for a ride there, and there's a bunch of pretty cool areas where you could camp out. I guess I didn't really. Because I
don't know if you. I mean,
most of where I was.
No, if I was going to camp out, I wouldn't want to do it in the park. I would want to do it in the zoo, around the animals and stuff. Not in the park. That's just park.
Like
that's just
right
camping
next
in
to
a
the
park.
Yeah.
No, I would want it in the zoo, like right next, not inside the cages, but
Well,
like on
I
the
think-
walkways where you normally walk with your kid or whatever. Through the zoo, and you're like, oh look, monkeys, oh look, a bear, right outside their cage. Pick a cage, pick a group of cages of some cool animals, and just crash out there for the night.
I don't know if you can camp out there, so I don't know if that's worthy of the list.
Well, I don't think any of these places would necessarily let us do this, but I know that you can. The zoos are available for parties. I suspect if we came up with a couple thousand shekels, they might let us spend the night.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, obviously we're not going to have a camp. We're not going to be allowed to have a campfire. We can
there's
barbecue.
there's
we can probably
tons
barbecue
of signs around there
in
that
a
say no
special
fires.
area. But no, I think it would just be cool to set up some sleeping bags or whatever and spend the night chilling out.
Now, where I know where you could camp out, and I've seen this a bunch of times, along the Higher Cone, the river along the north, the park on either side of the river.
Camping
along
in the
north.
park?
Yeah, I've seen people, because they have like, it's a campy kind of atmosphere. Like they have the paddle boats and they have the
Sure, if you couldn't turn your head and see like the highway and the rest of the city.
No, this was like near Ganeo Shua, like further. Ganeo Shua is where they do like concerts and stuff. They set up a stage for concerts. It was out in that direction, farther away from the highway, because it doesn't. There's a major road that runs on either side, but there's a highway that crosses over it only every.
Yeah, but that's just a big park. What is so special?
often.
Like, what is special would be special about camping there?
If you go to one of the quieter areas that's kind of in a wooded area, they have a stove. They have a camp stove. I don't know. It's local. You can listen. This is, if we're doing top 10, this is number 9. So
No,
we got a ways to go.
Well,
it's just
I can think of a lot
nice
of better.
area.
I could definitely. It's just
Okay, so we'll make
camping in
it a top
park.
15, and that'll be number 16. But no, I don't know. Your turn. What do you have? We're thinking this on the spot because I can definitely think of a few. But what do you got?
All right. Number 9, you can't really camp there anymore. Okay. When you're driving down to a lot, and
So this is now top 10 places you can't park. You can't camp out.
You can't camp. Well, no. We were going on a Jeep trip when I was a volunteer with Kibbutz,
Okay.
and we were going through that town that leads you into the Miktesh on the way to a lot. It's Pelamon.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yes, not Miktesh.
Right,
before you go into
right on the
mitzvah.
edge of the crater.
Yeah. So right before you go through,
There's a
into
crater
this big
in
crater,
Israel.
you go through this little town, and there's a visitor center, and there used to be a bridge from the visitor center across the road,
I know what you're talking
and
about.
there was this building that had crumbled. It was just the 4 interior walls really were left standing with a little bit of a roof. So let's almost call it like 4 rooms, okay, the way the walls were. And we went camping there one night. But I think number 9 would have to be camping in the desert, somewhere in the Mektesh Agadol, Katan, somewhere out there in the middle of the Negev, or somewhere in the Negev. Okay, I'm not going to say down in the Arava because that's hotter.
Yeah,
but in the Mektesh area, it's definitely a cool place. There's some cool shit. You can get a Jeep. You can go on these Jeep trips, so these overnight Jeep trips, and there's some fucking cool shit out there. Really cool rock formations. There's this one. It's made of
rock,
all lava, like different
rock,
different minerals, and I think there was like a lava thing, and it made this like giant, what looks like a giant phoenix, in the side of the rock cliff.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Yes, there's a big. It looks like a map of Phoenix, Arizona.
What's the point? Like it's natural, or somebody made it?
No, it's natural, just in the different colors for the different rocks.
In the shape of the map of the outline of Phoenix, Arizona.
Of a map of Arizona. Yeah, it's amazing.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen a map of Arizona. It looks almost exactly like a phoenix.
As a matter of fact, if you go back a couple of podcasts, remember this story I talked about me shitting? And the way the flashlight was positioned, I was casting my shadow of me shooting onto the side of the mountain. It was in that area. It was in one of the Mekteshes. So be careful where you step, because I don't think I buried it.
Okay.
Although, to be fair, that was like 21 years ago.
I'm never going there.
Yeah. So that's number 9.
That's number 9. I'm going to stay in the same area and go to that. I don't even know what it's called. Some place. It's really cool. You ever been there?
Oh, I have been there.
It's amazing.
Dude, that place sucks so bad.
So when I was on kibbutz, when I was on Maga Michael, we went on a trip down to the Dead Sea. On the way to the Dead Sea, we had a stop. Like, we got up super early in the morning, and we went down to this big park near. I don't want to say. I think Nachal Yehuda is up north, so I don't think it was there. But it was this wadi, this dried up riverbed, and it was an 8-hour hike. It was not too tough, but it was very long, and all along.
Probably not the kind
of
trip you want to take in the middle of the summer.
We did it in like May.
Well, maybe it's not so bad.
It was hot, but it was also in this canyon sort of. So there was good breezes whipping through. So we went down there, and it was incredible. And we ended up sleeping over in a Bedouin tent. And okay, the Bedouin tent was great, but it's kind of if you have the opportunity to sleep in a Bedouin tent, it'll be cool. You'll have fun. It's a tourist attraction, though, because the ones that do offer this are, it's right on the side of the highway. I have
never slept in a Bedouin tent.
It was. Listen, I was on the trip with 50 people. No, it was 100 of us because we had two buses. It was like 90 to 100 people. So, obviously we needed a place to house that many people, and the Bedouin tents are huge. It's like a circus tent almost, but not made out of circus materials. It was a very big tent, not the point. It was incredible just to hang out with a bunch of friends, and I thought, wow, just set up a tent in the same area down in this. I guess it was the Arava, but it was near this wadi. Just set up a tent down there. Bring some sort of entertainment, and it's beautiful.
So I just want to make this. Clear. So number 8 on our. So number 10 is Ramat Gan Zoo. Number 9 is Mektesh or Mitzpeh Ramon. And number 8 is going to be someplace you were once in the Arava, but you're not quite sure.
It was near somewhere.
Okay. Were you near a lot?
It was like 12 kilometers from somewhere. No. It was on the way to to the Dead Sea.
No, okay.
From Agamichael. Yeah. We were, because it was a 2-day trip. The first day was this huge hike.
Like half the country from Agamichael.
What is that? Maybe it was
Nachal
Arad? I don't know. I'll look it up. But it was there on the first night, and the second night on the second day we woke up the next morning and we climbed Masada. So this is, I mean, it was a lot of fun. The hike was very long, and then we were sleeping in the cold, which after hiking for a very long time, sleeping in the cold, then waking up the next day, your muscles cramp.
Yeah.
And climbing Masada is not fun. So
did you go up the snake path or up the ramp?
Oh no, we did snake path, man. no, we didn't fuck around here. They would like. There were two groups. There were the pussies, and then there was the other ones. So I didn't want to be a pussy and climb up the ramp, the ramp on the backside, the shorter one.
Yes.
So I did the snake path, and I had just woken up, so my legs weren't like, it didn't really realize how fucked my legs were. So yeah, I did the snake path, and I don't think.
Well, I guess then I have been I have ultimately wussed out because I have taken the cable car, which is much nicer.
I have taken the cable car. The first time in Israel, I took the cable car. I did the snake path a total of twice or three times, and I did the ramp. No, I did the snake path twice, and I did the ramp 3 times. The ramp, if you take the ramp, then you can see the cisterns in the back. So that's one thing you don't get with the other one. I guess you can walk there.
You can walk there from the top.
No, but it's a ways down. Like, it's a 10-minute walk down if you're going to go there from the top. Like climbing down, and that's a pain in the ass. Okay.
So that's
your next one.
What are we at now?
Well, I had somewhere in wherever in the desert. Are we talking about? No.
No, we're not talking about.
No, we're not talking about.
Let's see. Oh, you know what? What are we now? Number 7? Yeah.
Yeah, we're number 7.
Number 7 is going to be my favorite, like one of my favorite places in the country, Kibbutz Se'alim. Camping on Kibbutz Se'alim. Now that they have the hotels,
Where?
they also have
camping in the hotel.
No, they have the Bedouin tents. It's right next to the pool area
for tourists.
They have those Bedouin tents. Well, you know what? I wouldn't mind necessarily going there. It's.
Let me ask you this: if you didn't know anybody there, would you want to go still? No, I take that as a no.
No, I think that no, because I do. I think it would be a cool place to go out and chill out.
If not Se'alim, then another kibbutz with a similar.
Someplace in the Negev and another kibbutz that has.
There's no other way to put it than an attraction.
Well,
if you have a Bedouin tent inside,
okay.
It is a Bedouin tent inside of a kibbutz. It is not a Bedouin tent.
No,
it is Bedouin tent-esque inside of a kibbutz.
Well, absolutely.
I'm not saying you're
getting. I'm not saying you're getting the Bedouin experience or anything like that. But I am saying it's a nice, quiet place to chill out and be under the stars and everything else.
I'll take that.
I mean, it's a cool place to.
But there still is the light, and that was one of the things that I really liked about the Bedouin tent that we were at. There were no lights anywhere. Beersheba is not so close, but there's Ofakim, which is not too far away. There's other cities, and it does add some of the light pollution. Like, there was nothing, and we were lucky enough to be there at this Bedouin tent on a moonless night. It was a new moon, so it was extra dark.
Wow.
So you could really see the stars.
I've been out in the Wadi area outside at Se'alim on a new moon area, and there's been times you can't see your hand, like
when it's a new moon, the
face.
Entire Earth is a new moon area.
Sure. So I disagree with your saying that on the kibbutz there's a light pollution area. Now, in
It's
parts
not
of the
so
kibbutz
bad.
where
It's
it's
not
lit
so
up,
bad. It's
but
nothing like living in Tel Aviv.
You walk off the kibbutz, you don't have to go more than like 10 meters, and it's dark. Back to the kibbutz,
but when you're looking
dark.
up, you do still see a little bit of that haze from the illumination.
I disagree. Have you ever been to the tower that you can climb up in the wadi? About maybe it's a kilometer and a half outside of the kibbutz, outside of Salem.
Yes.
You go there at night. You can't see anything.
I went with my friends to to see the shooting stars one year.
I have been at that
we drove
tower.
all the way out there. It was amazing.
I have been standing next to that tower on a night so dark you could not see the tower.
How'd you see the tower, Steve?
Well, we didn't go up the tower that night. It was too damn dark. This was before we had cell phones, and nobody carried a flashlight around. You just sit there with a lighter. It's too windy. But the kibbutz Se'alim would be a good place to go hang out. And
so, will we say Se'alim/Wadi, or are we going to make those two separate ones? Because the Wadi is it is.
Well, I believe the name of the title is
street,
top 10-ish places that I would want to chill with my pals in Israel. And I would want to go
camping. If you're at Se'alim, then you can get to the Wadi easily enough.
Hell yeah.
You can walk there.
You could absolutely walk there. It's
okay,
like a 20-minute walk.
One. We'll make that one. I have kind of a tie for the next one, whatever number this is. I have a tie. So I'll say one now, and I'll save the next one for after. The first one I'll say is Gamla. Gamla is one of my favorite places in the country.
That's where I went for my honeymoon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you went to Gamla, not to the kibbutz, I'm not talking about the Zimmerim, the cabins nearby, the actual Gamla.
We did. We went there.
You climbed up?
We stayed. Yeah, we stayed in the Zimmel, at the bottom of the mountain. Okay, there's this wine where they grow
a winery.
Where they grow the grapes. A vineyard.
A vineyard.
There was a vineyard, and it was really cool because we went in our car. It was a shitty little Hyundai Accent, and we're driving down this little dirt road that was clearly made for like Jeeps and tractors and things. Giant ruts and potholes in this thing. It was really bad. But it was cool, man. At the middle of and we were literally right at the foot of the mountain. So at night, it was fucking pitch black out. It was really fucking cool there. We had a Zimmer with a mouse. He became our pet.
You had a Zimmer with a mouse.
There was a mouse in the Zimmer.
That's pretty cool.
It was actually. He was running around in the rafters because this was like just like it was kind of like a log cabin. I mean, it wasn't logs. It was made out of wood though, but it was just like your basic 2x4 lumber construction. It's not like some of these like new fancier Zimmels. This was just like just a shitty little cabin in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of this vineyard. It was really fucking cool.
I don't know the cabins, but I remember. I think this is also on Maga Michael. I think this is another one of our trips. We went to Gamla. It's just amazing. Like it's a beautiful walk. That was Nachal Yehuda. That was where we went to Nachal Yehuda. It's just some river named Yehuda. It's just a beautiful area. Beautiful area. There's this along the hike. There's signs every so many feet. There's a stopping point where you can look out. It's not really even a climb at this point. This is just sort of walking around a winding road. But there's pictures of birds, like specific birds. Apparently, it's like a bird spotting area because there were a bunch of
bird sanctuary.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it, but they have like all those bicycles and golf carts you can rent and drive around the thing, and they have those little hutches where you can go in and see the birds.
Right.
Yeah, I've been there. As a matter of fact, not only have I been there, I've been there twice.
Where was that? I forgot what we were talking about.
Okay, let's just tell people what happened. We just took like a half-hour break because dinner got delivered during the show.
Yeah.
So we're back. Hope you didn't miss us because exactly no time has passed for you. So I guess.
Yes, we made you lose time.
But anyway, I've been to that bird sanctuary place twice. But getting back to the original thing, I loved my. We spent 2 nights at Gamla. And it was fucking awesome.
Oh, just climbing up, because it's a beautiful climb. And
you can't go to the very top because there's an army base there. But you can go up as high as you.
Okay,
yeah,
well maybe we're thinking of different places because there's definitely not an army base on the top of Gamla.
It might not be a base. It's
no, there's nothing on the top of Gamla. It's all ruins. There's like 4 rocks.
There's a transmitter or something up there, and you're not allowed to go actually up to the very top.
Okay, maybe one of the hills on the side, but not Gamla. Gamla is untouched. It was from Josephus Flavius, who wrote about Masada and the Bar Kokhba caves. It's these caves during the time from Masada when if you're familiar with the story or not, he had the Jews who were living in Masada, they all jumped to their death, but in order to avoid having to bow down to the idols of the Herodians, Babylonians, or whatever it was. Anyway, but no, Gamla is titled Gamla because it's Hebrew for camel. It's in the shape of a camel's back.
Okay, you know what? Okay. I have been to Gamla at the ruin.
But you were thinking of the base, the
no. I was
with
thinking
the trenches
of something
at the top.
Something that's near. It's in that area or something. But
there's a few.
Gamla. I remember
there's
that. Yeah, there's the Crusader Tower, and then you can go on this really long trek, and there's like another castle or something that you can go in.
Yeah.
That we didn't trek down to the other one. Yeah, that was my bad.
Yep, you're bad.
I'm bad. I should be in detention. I'm so bad.
So that was mine. Gamla was mine. What's your next top 10-ish place that you would want to chill with your pals in Israel?
Well, let's see. We got Ramat Gan, Miktesh, Mitzvah Amon, Mitzi Ramon, huh? Okay. Somewhere in the desert.
Somewhere in the desert. We got Salim and the Wadi across the street.
I don't know what another one would be.
Gamma. Okay, so I'll give. Actually, I have a couple. One of my other ones.
Does it have to be outside?
Well, if you don't have any other one, I wouldn't
mind spending a night in the Yodvatah factory.
Okay, the Yodvatah's factory is a dairy, and the factory is supplied by the cow shed right next door to it. So, what do you want to do?
Chocolate and ice cream and stuff they make there.
How about spend a night in a convenience store? Because you can basically get all of the same things.
This would be fresher.
At a fucking kiosk. Can you taste the difference between milk that was from today and milk from yesterday?
Yes.
No, you can't.
Leave it out and I can.
That's true. You should be able to. So getting back to the topic. This is important shit we're talking about, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
So put on your game face. Number whatever I would say would probably have to be Beit She'arim. Have you ever been there, Beit She'arim?
That's the caves with the burial caves?
The caves where they buried the members of the Sanhedrin back in 70 AD.
Okay, so you actually want to camp out in one of the caves at night?
It is so amazing.
Not
necessarily right there though, but there's
that'd be creepier than camping out in a fucking cemetery.
Well, it is camping out in a cemetery.
Well,
it's camping out in a mortuary.
There's a cemetery in the United States, where it's open, and then there's in a fucking burial cave.
Right. So the burial cave is basically like sleeping in a mausoleum.
This is creepy. This is underground creepy. This is.
But I don't know.
But
I don't know that I would want
super creepy plus.
But I don't know that I would want to sleep in the cave. There's a really beautiful park right next to it, under some trees. It's very nice, very cool. And it's up near Haifa, so it's like, in the hills, similar terrain to Gamla.
If you don't sleep in the caves, then you're just sleeping in a park near some caves.
Ramat Gan Zoo.
Well, that's got the cool animals. That'd be fun.
Cool caves. That'd be fun.
You sleep in the caves, not just near them.
Because I could sleep in the caves, but you obviously have a very big problem with sleeping in the caves. So
it would be creepy.
So
I'm not saying
I was
I'd be against
adjusting
it. I'm just saying it would be creepy.
I don't think so. I don't believe in ghosts, though. So, I don't know.
I don't necessarily think I believe in ghosts.
Was that a double positive or double negative?
I mean, whether or not I believe in an afterlife or spirits or anything like that, I don't necessarily believe that a ghost could actually. I don't believe in rattling chains. Ooh. Okay, I don't think that my chairs are gonna stack themselves or any of the stuff from the poltergeist is gonna happen. But it would still be creepy.
I think you're wrong.
It'd be like sleeping in a morgue. You don't think that would be creepy?
In a morgue?
Yes, in a morgue. On one of the tables.
Have you been in a morgue? They don't smell very good.
I have not been in a morgue.
They don't smell very good. And I don't want to sleep in a doctor's office. Essentially, it's something that has, the clean walls, and that's just sleeping in a room. I don't want to sleep in there. Sleep in something from 70 BC or whatever year it was. I think it was actually more like 120 something because they were buried in one place and then moved there. 125, AD, or CE as the Jews like to say. But I don't know. Beit She'arim is very cool. So that's another one.
So that's number 5.
I guess if we're talking about places like that with a big open area, we could talk about Beit Shan, which was like
but
an
what
old
is so
city.
Cool about it?
Nothing. It's a cool place. I don't know.
Okay, you know what? Number 4, Caesarea. The ruins of Caesarea.
That was. I was going to say what's cool about it. It's like Caesarea. Caesarea is also very cool. But why would you want to sleep at Caesarea?
But it's got the cool ruins. You could, all the tunnels underneath the amphitheater.
You have that. You have that at Beit Shan. You have even more. Because Beit Shan. I remember when I went there when I was 93. Oddly enough, in 93.
I'm sorry, you went there when you were 93?
When I was 93, in 93.
I see.
I'm an old geese. But I had been back a couple more times, and they really Banyas or Sachne. I don't know if those are different things. One is one, the other one is another one.
What are the caves up? What is it? The Syrian border. The underground caves with all the water.
Yes.
Used to be train tracks that went into Syria, and they blew them up before the war.
Yeah. Rosh Hanikra.
There you go.
Rosh Hanikra is
I know
cool.
you know what I'm talking about.
The Blue Grottos.
Those fucking grottos would be fucking awesome place to hang out.
To hang out, not to camp in, because I don't know how many times you've been there. The tide does come in.
Yeah, but
every day.
Yeah,
every day.
Yeah,
every day.
But those tunnels don't flood.
Yes, they do.
No, the grotto areas where they might get higher with water, but there's areas where
the ground
it gets moist. It's always moist.
It's almost always wet.
It's always wet, but that's because you're in a fucking cave.
Because the
high
water,
moisture, and everything else.
Okay, so that's why I don't want to camp in there.
You could get a good fucking tent and a sleeping bag that would keep you dry.
No,
and it would definitely be a cool place to. Even if you hung out,
it
outside,
is a cool place.
Even
and
if
it is a very cool place to hang
caves,
out.
You could still go into the caves and hang out.
And I don't know if you could set up a tent in there either.
I think there's some areas you probably could.
No, physically, yes, you could. I don't think you should. I don't think you are allowed to.
I don't think most of the places.
No, Banyas and Sachne, I think you might actually be able to, because Banyas and Sachne, it's like one of the origins of the Jordan River, like one of the springs for the Jordan River. And there's waterfalls and pools, and it's really neat. And there's big areas around it where you can, I think, set up tents. Anyway,
well, just because you can set up tents, they allow you to camp there, that doesn't mean it would be a cool place to camp.
It's very cool. I will maybe share a link to images of one or both of these places.
I've been to lots of places that you can camp, and they were cool. But, I think the whole point of this was, places where you're really not allowed to camp, but would be cool to go camping.
No, that was not a condition for this at all. You noticed after mentioning a few of these places and us having the discussion about whether or not it is possible to, we discovered, or we came to the common understanding that you probably can't. But that was not a condition of the list.
Oh, I happen to think for some of these places, I happen to think for the
Zelim and Awadi, you can.
Well, yeah, you can.
Beit She'arim, I think you can.
I think for a lot of these places, because
Beit She'an, there's campgrounds in the area.
I know that some of these places, like Kesalia and everything else, you can rent out the ruins and have weddings and things there.
Yeah, but that's.
So I think if you have the money, and everything else, they'll let you sleep there overnight. Why not?
If you have $40,000.
I don't think it would cost anywhere near $40,000.
No, but
I think some of these places don't make much money for the country, and if you offer them a couple of thousand shekels to go camp to spend one night there, sure, what the hell? They'd probably have a bunch of rules and everything else, but I think they might let you. I think it could be done.
Do you have to order their catering service as well? They're like their cousin's catering service.
I have no idea.
Because that's one thing you'll have to get used to in this country is the kombinot. Everybody knows somebody, and everybody has a friend or a family member. It's like the Jewish game, you know. I don't know. My mom is active in the Jewish community, or had been very active in the Jewish community in Kansas City, and knows everyone. So if you need anything done, yeah, my mom knows so and so and these guys and so on and so forth. That's the entire country here.
And that's the Jewish game, knowing people and recommending people you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Not to be confused with Jewish geography, which you've played that. Jewish geography. You meet somebody and somehow, somewhere, it's like the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, but without movies. Just you and this other person, other people that you know.
You and my mom and dad have played this game. I do not play this game. Because I could really give a rat's ass if you know some woman that my great-grandmother knew, something like that.
Cool.
Like, your parents know someone.
What is a rat's ass worth?
Your parents know someone that my parents know. And you know what that means to me? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, the family that your mom always mentions, I don't know if I know them. I don't know if I even know that name.
Okay.
But if my mom does, then okay. Well, the community in Kansas City is relatively a tight-knit community. It's a big community, but, you know, at least I've heard,
I understand the concept.
The last names,
but
not
finding out
the
that that your family knows someone that my family knows means exactly this much to me. Whoop-de-doo.
That's a lot.
It's really
it caused you to go like this. Whoop-de-doo. Like, that took time. Time is money, all right? Time is money. So if you calculate how long it took you to do that, you were willing to set aside that amount of time, a.k.a. money.
You want to time me and see how long it takes to go whoop-de-doo? Because I'm betting it's about a second.
That was about 4 seconds.
No.
You know what? We're actually recording this, and we can time it.
1,000, 2 1,000. That would be.
That was not 2 seconds. What you just counted there was not 2 seconds.
Okay, here.
You know the whole point of the 1,000.
1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. Whoop-de-doo! Look at it. I did it in less than a second.
because you cut yourself off at the 1 second mark.
Because it's all it takes to go.
But we're going to go back and
and
listen to the whole thing.
Seconds.
So what is number 2 that we have here on the list? What's number 2? Or did we say number 2 and I just wasn't paying attention? That's very likely.
Well, yeah, because if you look at it, all the numbers are one off. So
yeah, but I thought you mentioned
2.
something after Banyas and Sachne.
No, I said Kesalia. I didn't say.
No, you said Kesalia and then you said Banyas and Sachne.
You said Banyas
and then
Sachne.
after that,
we didn't say anything. Oh no, you're right. I did. The Roshanikra.
Yes, that's right. Roshanikra is very cool.
It's a very cool place to visit. I think it would be a cool place to go camping. I'd like to hang out there without all the crowds of people and everything else.
You know,
to hang out and walk around on my own.
One of my favorite things to do at Roshanikra is take pictures of the sign that says "Do not take pictures of this sign."
One of my favorite things to do there is absolutely to not smoke pot in those caves when no one's looking.
Which ones?
Doesn't matter because I would never do that.
The tunnel that was closed off, the old railway. There used to be a railway from Tel Aviv through Lebanon there. They've boarded up.
Yeah, but now that's like a movie theater.
Right, exactly.
It's a movie
they boarded
theater.
up the
and
back
I would
wall.
absolutely not walk in there when no one is in there and take a hit of my pipe. And I would absolutely, positively never go there. I would never go there on Sukkot when they have the little sukkahs built.
You shouldn't do that.
And walk into one to take it. I wouldn't. No, I'm saying I would never do that.
Oh, okay.
No.
That's good.
That would be bad.
What else is bad? I guess number 1. What would be number 1?
Number 1, I think it's kind of obvious. Masada.
Masada
would be the greatest place to hang out at night, overnight, I think.
Listen,
there's absolutely nothing.
If you give me the key to the cable car,
no, you go up at night.
Control over
you go up at night. You're in there for the night.
I guess once I'm up there, I don't need to come back down.
No, you got everything you need up there. You got bathrooms and shower. I don't know if they have showers. They have bathrooms.
There are bathrooms. Probably not a shower, but
you have to bring to bring your own food, but that's no big deal.
I go camping. I don't need no bathrooms even. You gotta roll of toilet paper and get some banana leaves.
Oh sure, I'm sure they'd agree to just let you shit all over the top of Masada.
There's an edge.
I'm not holding your hand while you lean back.
Shitting over the echo. They call it the echo chamber. It's not a chamber at all, but there's. It's one of the sides of the mount, and there's another wall, like 200, 300, 400 meters away, and it echoes back with a long delay, with a 1 or 2 second delay. So that could be interesting, like farting really loud over the edge.
Do you think if you did take a dump over the edge when when your poop hit the floor, it would go and that like splat sound would echo?
That would be cool. I'm gonna say I need to find out.
I guess if you go there early enough in the morning or maybe late in the afternoon, there won't be that many people there. You can get away.
There
with
are
it.
many people always.
No, I've been there
I went up
at the end of the day and stuff, and it's not.
No, you're right. The end of the day, there's less people, but I've gone up at 4 in the morning.
People want to get there for sunrise.
Yeah.
The big thing is to climb Masada and get to the top at sunrise.
And if you're up for it, if you're really up for it, right next to Masada. Well, just down the road a little bit is Ein Gedi, the hot springs, but on either side of Ein Gedi, because it runs down in the middle of a valley, on one side, on the left, on the south side, it goes up to like this plateau. On the right side is Har Yeshai, which is a very, very tall. I guess I think it's a mountain, but it's below sea level, so. Well, it starts out below sea level, so it only rises to maybe a couple hundred meters above sea level, so many 100 feet above sea level. But it's a serious hike, and we did that hike. We started at 4 a.m, went up to the top of Haryashai. It was amazing. Took us 8 hours to get to the top. We get to the top. To go down, you wrap around, and you end up at Masada. So you can continue climbing down the mountain only to end up climbing up Masada, and I did not do that. We did
that
climb
does
to the...
not sound pleasant.
Listen, if you're into it, if you're ready for it, like people were mountain biking up the mountain, and it's not like a path like a paved road or anything. It's climbing up rocks.
People that ride mountain bikes up Masada.
No, it was not up Masada. It was up the Haryashai.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, if you ride a mountain bike up to Masada, up Masada, when you get to the top, you should be thrown off. Just in principle.
I agree with this.
Okay.
Cool.
There you go.
So that's our top 10.
Yep, there you go. Our hour is almost up for this week. We have a top 10 list of places I would want to chill with my pals camping overnight. And just to wrap it, just to kind of...
It was actually 11, but it was really 13 because 2 of them were combined into one.
Well, yeah, it was 11 because you can't count. You put everything on the wrong line.
It doesn't matter. It was top 10-ish.
Yeah, but Ramat Gan was supposed to be first, and for some reason you put it above 10. You started at 11.
Yeah, I did. I don't know why. But yeah. Well, listen. There's so many more. Like, I mean, you can go outside of other places, and there's other things and the places and the things that surround those places with the things in them, and then the other things with. Come on, like it doesn't end. But that was the top 13 places I would want to chill with my pals in Israel.
Yeah.
All right, so next week we will be discussing stuff.
Syphilis. Oh. No, not syphilis.
If you want to talk about your syphilis, then you're welcome to.
I didn't say mine's syphilis, but I think, we should do some public service announcements and tell people syphilis is bad. Next week's topic, syphilis, bad.
You know what's twisted? I don't...
Sisters?
I'm not sure if I would be able to tell without seeing the image connected with the name, the difference between syphilis, chlamydia, that's a clap, right? Chlamydia?
Mm-hmm.
One of them. Gonorrhea. I don't know. Like, I know they're all bad. I'm not sure what each one on its own.
I suspect these are the kinds of things you learn after you get one of them.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Hey, so
I suspect
everybody
if you
knows
get the
that
clap,
I don't have
you know
one of those.
more about the clap than someone that doesn't have the clap.
Yeah. I'm assuming you know all about all of them.
I know nothing about any of them. Someone asked me. Someone asked me yesterday if Krabs is still around. I told them I had no idea.
Just Crab Shack?
Is that still a thing?
Crabs? I miss crab.
Like little bugs that go on your pubes and bite you and.
No. I mean, I wouldn't be able to miss them. I haven't had them. But I miss crab, lobster.
You can get. I don't know if you can get an actual crab or lobster here. I do not know the answer to that.
You can actually get lobster. I don't think it's fresh. But I think you can get lobster from the Shuk.
I don't know if I would want Shuk lobster.
Right. I'm not really sure if I really dig that idea, but
that's really kind of one of those things you really want to get as fresh as possible.
That's actually one thing that I did want to talk about. It reminded me about gentrification, because the Shuk used to be a great place to get cheap stuff, and now there's sushi and there's these fancy restaurants, and I don't know. Like it's just completely changed the Shuk. There's
Well, it used to be a cheap place to
no-
go and get some meat or cheese or whatever for before Shabbos or for the week or whatever, and now it's become a hangout. It's a cool place to hang out and eat and drink and.
Tis no more. Tis
Yeah.
no more. All right. So,
Well, hold on. Wait. Because there was just something that I. Nope, completely gone. All right, I had an idea.
Saving it for next
something
week.
that would have been good for next week, but.
Well, you have exactly 7 days to think of it.
No,
remember it.
No, it'll be gone forever. We're talking about the Shuk and Shuking.
Shuki Weiss?
No.
The one who brought Ozzy?
No. It had something that we just talked about. Said, oh wait, we could, but yeah, no, no idea.
Okay, now you're just wasting time.
Yeah, well, no, it would have been something good that we could have talked about next week, and it would have been a really interesting subject.
But again, you have 7 days to think of that.
No,
right now, we're just wasting time because you're trying to think of
it.
something that you can't think of.
I'll never remember it.
All right.
It doesn't matter. Once
Bye,
you hit
guys.
stop, that idea's gone forever.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Well, okay.